Not too bad yourself. Good. Everybody behaving?
Deputies, yes.
No, I'm referring to the public.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's.
I can't control them.
Well, you know, it's so funny. I was talking with one of my colleagues that works in the city is in one of the foothill cities, and he was asking, "Hey, is that the town?" I said, "Well, I heard yes, and it's not very."
Yes, would you like me to start the broadcast?
Yes, please.
No pattern for what's going on. So I don't know what
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good evening and welcome to the City Council meeting of December 20th, 2022. It's 6:30 and I would like to call the meeting to order. Just so everybody knows, this is our very last meeting of the calendar year, so we're almost there. So welcome to everyone. Mayor Chow has asked me to facilitate the meeting tonight since both he and Mayor Pro Tem Liu are both attending the meeting remotely. So we will begin. Just a couple of housekeeping first. GoToWebinar transcripts of council meetings are available upon request after the council meeting. For real-time transcription, visit your Apple app or Google Play Store and download services such as Live Transcribe or Live Caption. Given the global COVID-19 pandemic, this meeting is being conducted both telephonically and in person. Members of the City Council and staff may be participating either in person or telephonically. The public is encouraged to join the meeting online or by phone at the numbers printed on the agenda, which can be found on the city's website at www.diamondbarca.gov or in person, Main Auditorium, AQMD. We have also allowed public comments to be submitted in advance to the city clerk. If any were received, they will be noted for the record when we get to the public comment period. This meeting is being recorded, and by participating, you are giving your permission to be televised. This meeting will be rebroadcast every Saturday and Sunday at 9 a.m. and on alternate Tuesdays at 8 p.m. and archived for viewing on the city's website. First, we're going to have the Pledge of Allegiance, and then that will be led by Councilmember Tai. And I'm going to ask everyone to stand for the invocation, which will be given by Mark Hopper, Pastor Emeritus of the Evangelical Free Church. Please stand.
Would you please stand and join me in saluting the flag of the greatest country on God's green earth? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United
States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before I give the invocation, I just want to say Merry Christmas to everyone. We have a number of wonderful faith groups in our community, and we certainly respect all of those and appreciate them, but it's Christmas, and a lot of times we kind of work around that. So Merry Christmas. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we come together. We live in such a wonderful community. We thank you for the leaders here, the council, the staff, the people in public service and safety, education, and in the faith community as well. And Lord, as we just look around, we see people hurting and struggling and needs, and we lack the resources or the ability to solve all of them. But we're praying you would bless people this holiday season and provide for needs. And thank you for community groups and community clubs and schools and food drives that seek to address some of those needs. So we pray, we're giving thanks really for the Christmas season, celebrating the birth of Jesus. And I ask that you would bless this time and encourage those in leadership and maybe some here that might be weary or discouraged by the load they're carrying in a home or a family, other relationships, or on a community or even a larger level. So we commit this time to you. We thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor Hopper. Mr. Fox, are there any changes to tonight's agenda?
There are no changes to the agenda.
Okay, thank you. Then on behalf of the mayor, I approve the agenda. Our first item is special presentations and
Council-
certificates, and we don't have any tonight.
Councilmember Lowe,
Yes.
may I take the roll?
Well, if you must.
Councilmember Lowe,
if you want to go in order, sure.
Councilmember Lowe,
Yes.
Councilmember Tang,
Yes.
Councilmember Tai,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Lu.
Here.
And Mayor Chow.
I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Santana. Okay, item number 1 is special presentations, certificates, and proclamations, and for this evening, we don't have any. Item number 2 are city manager reports and recommendations. City Manager Fox, are there any reports?
We do have one this evening. I'm going to ask our Assistant City Manager, Ryan McLean, to provide an update on our strategic plan.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Tai, members of the City Council. I'm here this evening to provide a brief update on the first quarter results of the fiscal year 2022-2023 City Council Strategic Plan. And as I go through each of the 3 goals that the City Council has put in place, I'll highlight a few of the key initiatives that have progressed in the last year consistent with the goals in that plan. So just a little bit of a reminder, the strategic plan is an aspirational roadmap, and it guides the City Council's policy decisions and the staff recommendations that we make. You'll see the 3 goals as they relate to each of the items on your City Council agenda. It's a very high-level document. Again, it's a guidepost for the policy goals and strategies that you direct us to implement. And it prioritizes our key initiatives with the most included in our annual budget and our department work plans. And those are everything from ongoing services, programs, to policy matters that come up as we move forward. So the first goal is responsible stewardship of public resources. There are 3 subcategories under that goal. Those are secure long-term financial sustainability, maintain and improve parks, facilities, and infrastructure, and leverage technology to improve business practices. And so as you can see, this isn't just about dollars and cents or the annual budget. It's about ongoing maintenance, infrastructure, and putting conditions in place to weather uncertain economic times. So I'd like to highlight a few of the key initiatives that progressed during the first quarter of this fiscal year. I'll start with the Diamond Bar Center Slope Stabilization Project. You've probably seen the construction that is ongoing up in that area. And this is expected to continue in the first quarter of the new year. And it's a project that addresses some ongoing hillside erosion and is designed to protect the long-term stability of the slopes that surround the Diamond Bar Center. It's important that that be a stable location for the long term. Second item I'd like to highlight is the inclusion of performance measures in the annual budget. This is a new feature, and these are items that each department has contributed to with the goal of determining the overall effectiveness of the programming and services that each of those departments are providing. And so you can see that on our website and in our budget document, and that's a core component for some of the budget awards that need to be included in those to be considered. And we want to maintain our decades-long streak of being recognized with those budget awards. The third item is the pavement management system. And this is something that our Public Works Department has maintained for, again, a very long time. And it's a core component to making sure that our streets are in good, solid condition. It sets a course for maintaining them and making sure that their maintenance is manageable from a budgetary perspective. And as our infrastructure ages, it's important that we maintain a focus on plans like these that are proactive and forward-looking. And then finally, the last item I'd like to highlight under this goal is a multi-department effort. This is the Enterprise Land Management System. Essentially, this is going to be an organizational effort to implement a software application that streamlines our services in the Community Development and Public Works Department, all surrounding the land development type services that we provide. Our second goal is an open, engaged, and responsive government. There are 3 subcategories there, including enhanced community engagement and communication, provide excellent customer service, and create and sustain a high-performing organization. This goal, if you were to sum it up, is essentially to ensure that the public has an open and welcoming access to the city's information and services, and that we have the right people in place to provide that good service. So a few highlights from this goal that took place in the first quarter of this year. The first being a new feature as part of our budget process known as the Budget in Brief. This is an item that has been developed and is posted on our city website, and it's a summary of our annual budget in a more easily digestible format for those that might otherwise not be municipal finance experts. We know that there's a lot of information in the budget document that's adopted each year, hundreds of pages and many schedules. And so this is designed to provide the highlights and give an interested party the opportunity to do a deeper dive if they desire to do that. Second item I'd like to highlight is some work that was done on the town center specific plan project, specifically the design charrette that took place. This was a week-long public process that focused on what a Diamond Bar downtown could be. It was well attended by the public. We had a lot of feedback that has been collected by our consultant and staff and will inform the work that moves forward and is presented to the Council and Planning Commission as that project develops. The third key initiative is the Human Capital Investment Program. We've had our first hiring, our funding for new hires that were recommended as part of that program. As you know, those recommendations were brought to the council during the budget process, and there were 3 positions that were approved in that process, and I'm happy to say that as of yesterday, all 3 of those positions have been filled, and so we're looking forward to the new services, new capacity, and additional customer service that those new team members will bring as we try to create an employer of choice here in Diamond Bar. And finally, the third goal is a safe, sustainable, and healthy community. And that includes enhancing public safety, improving mobility, and enhancing the quality of life and supporting environmental health. This is essentially the goal that summarizes a high quality of life for those that live and do business here in Diamond Bar. So you'll hear about public safety, traffic mitigation, environmental services, and programs that encourage community. So a few key initiatives that have made progress in this category include a new organics recycling effort. This is something that is done in compliance with state law. The city, along with its waste hauler partners, launched a residential organics recycling program that, with the goal to encourage an increase in the recycling and disposal of food waste, both in the residential and commercial sectors. And one of the key pieces of that project was a free bin program that the city offered that helps residents store any food waste that they have properly in the house, and then it can be disposed of in the green bin. And we had people lined up out the door at 7:30 like Taylor Swift tickets were available. It was pretty incredible, and it was a success. So that's been a good program. The Public Works Department has kicked off a series of ADA curb ramp improvements at 16 different locations in town. And this is where we provide the curb ramps for those that might not have the ability to otherwise pass through that area, and provide ADA access where it does not currently exist. Staff worked with residents in 2 different neighborhoods to address ongoing traffic conditions through our neighborhood traffic management program. And those residents, along with staff, developed traffic calming measures that were appropriate for the unique conditions in their neighborhood, and construction work is expected to begin in both neighborhoods in the coming year. And then finally, we've continued to do direct face-to-face public safety outreach throughout the city, whether it be neighborhood watch programs or the Coffee with a Cop program. After some pushing pause related to COVID, we're back and having those in person, and I know that those have been a success. We've had a lot of those, and our deputies Scheller and Deputy Kerr have been out in the field working with residents and business owners in that regard. So that is a very quick summary of the many items that have made progress on the strategic plan. It is not an exhaustive list. There are a lot of day-to-day items that we just continue to work on, but those are some highlights. And the work's going to continue. This is the last half of the last year of the current strategic plan, so the City Council can expect to hear some staff presentations in the coming months related to the next round of the strategic plan for the next 3 to 5 year period. So we look forward to working with you on that, and stay tuned. And with that, I would be happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Great presentation. Thank you so much. Councilmember Tai, have you any questions?
Thank you. Ryan, I don't know if when we're looking at updated pavement management, we're talking about slurry seals or actually grinding and repaving. How do we help folks when their neighborhoods are slurried and the job isn't such a good job? And I don't know that it's the person doing the slurry, the company doing the slurry, or it's the fact that we have now, is it 3 huge vehicles from Waste Management and Valley Vista going on our streets, and I'm thinking specifically of a cul-de-sac area where the truck has to turn around, and when it's doing that pivot, it's tearing the stuff up. What can they do to make us aware of it, and what can we do to see that doesn't happen often?
Yes, the pavement management system itself is a document that's kind of a planning document that sets out what the city needs to do to maintain a certain level of condition on the streets. When we do the slurry projects or there's any type of resealing, if there's something that is out of place or is not done to the level that we would expect, I would encourage residents to contact the Public Works Department. The engineers that are assigned to those projects will go out and inspect that, and if it's not meeting the conditions required in the work or in the contract, we would ask them to correct. And we've done that in the past on a number of occasions. And so just like anything, if a resident sees something, please call, whether it's public safety, whether it's a condition of the street, whether it's any problem with the service, we want to hear about it. So call City Hall. Specifically for a road project, the Public Works Department would be the right place to go.
Great. And I don't mean to say that it is not being done to our expectations. It's just that what happens when those multi-ton vehicles go on the street? And is it too soon? Should it cure longer? I don't know. So, okay, that's good to know. Thank you.
Well, I have a quick question as to contacting the city. Since post-COVID, we've had the appointment system. How would you advise our residents in terms of what is the best way to contact the city, get a response, get a resolution, get an appointment? What is the best way? A phone call, an app, of email?
Well, I think it depends on what service is necessary or what the issue is. We offer a number of different ways for people to contact so that we know that people have different preferences, they have different availabilities. So there is the app. You can simply provide a service request in the app. We have an online service request form that you can fill out. We all have email addresses that we can be reached at. We have phones that we will answer. You can walk into City Hall, and if we're not in the midst of an appointment, we'll provide that service as soon as we can. And so any of those options will work and are appropriate, and you'll get some quick response pretty much any way that you go. If it's an emergency, obviously contact the Sheriff's Department or the Fire Department, but if it's something that's a city program, any of those options would work.
Great, thank you. Councilmember Tang, any questions from you?
Regarding the traffic calming measure, does the city work with the resident on the area that need to have a traffic calming measure? That do they get most of the resident agree with a certain measurement or not?
Yes, the Public Works Department has what we call the Neighborhood Traffic Management Program. And this is something where a team from the Public Works Department of Engineers will go out into a specific neighborhood, will meet with members of that neighborhood, discuss different options with them, facilitate an engineer's study of the conditions that are taking place in that neighborhood. And then there is a consensus building portion of that where those that live in the neighborhood vote on what they think is the best approach. And provided that that approach fits with the engineer's recommendations and requirements, we'll work with the neighbors to put in, whether it's speed humps or, we have sections of town where we have some parts of the curbs that come in to narrow the street. There are a lot of different options, but we do work on a regular basis with the residents in specific neighborhoods. And those two examples that I shared in the presentation are parts of the Neighborhood Traffic Management Program.
Let me open it up to our council members that are remote. Mayor Chow, have you any questions for Assistant Manager McLean?
I do actually. Thank you, Council Murillo. So thanks staff for your presentation. In the famous words of City Manager Fox, it never ends. The work that we do never ends. So I do have a question about the permitting system. I know that we have spent some resources acquiring a new permit system. I want to see how that impacts potentially the solar permits. I understand that certain tax credits are expiring, and also with the state law coming down mandating new builds must have solar panels. So are we gearing up for a potential kind of increase in solar panel permits, and how will we handle permits in general going forward with the new system? Thank you.
Well, I can't speak to how the new system will impact the amount of solar panel permits that we get, but the goal of this system is to streamline the permitting process, whether it's coming into the Public Works Department, whether it's a building permit, whether it's a solar permit. The idea would be that we would have a enterprise system that would allow us to digitize, that would allow us to provide online options for submittal that are more streamlined, more effective, quicker turnaround times, and so forth. It also provides us with one source of truth when it comes to managing land development projects. Often there is an overlap between the building, planning, and public works sides. And so this system would allow us the ability to provide better service, to provide hopefully quicker turnaround times, and just to have a better customer experience all around as somebody submits for a land development project.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Liu, have you any questions?
Thank you, Councilmember Lowe. I do. I have a quick question. Often I get questions from residents that they're asking that they're not sure who to contact or which department to contact when they have questions and concerns. What would be the best way for some resident to find out which resource to contact when they need help?
If you call the main city hotline, which I believe is 909-839-7000, you'll reach Rebecca most likely at our counter. She's very knowledgeable about directing different types of requests to the correct department. Our website also has information on each department. So if you have some time to invest to go on our website and look at the different departments, try to find what you're looking for, that's another option. The service request portal that is on our website has a pretty easy to use drop-down menu where you can look and see. It'll basically ask you what your concern is. And if it's public safety, for example, that concern would be routed to the appropriate person. If your concern is related to a code enforcement matter, it would automatically be routed to the correct person for response. And so there's a number of different ways, again, kind of circling back to a previous question. But if you call City Hall, we'll get you to the right place. If you use our service portal, that automatically routes you to the correct place based on your concern.
Thank you.
All right, does that, I think that takes care of it. All right, thank you so much for that report. That's a great report, and it's always exciting to recap what has been going on, because actually a lot's been going on. All right, that brings us to item number 3, which is public comments. Public comments is the time reserved on each regular meeting agenda to provide an opportunity for members of the public to directly address the council on consent calendar items or other matters of interest not on the agenda that are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the council. Although the City Council values your comments pursuant to the Brown Act, members of the City Council or staff may briefly respond to public comments if necessary, but no extended discussion and no action on such matters may take place. There's a 5-minute maximum time limit when addressing the City Council. At this time, I will call up speakers who have submitted a speaker card first. Then City Clerk Santana will ask for those callers joining the teleconference who may wish to speak under public comments. So, I have a number of public comment speaker cards. The first one is former Mayor and former Council Member Nancy Lyons. Welcome.
I knew she couldn't stay away.
Thank you and good evening. As you could see, I couldn't stay away long.
That's what we said.
But tonight I have the honor to finish up the presentation to our former mayor, Ruth Lowe. This should have come to her 2 weeks ago, but it was stuck somewhere. So if somebody could take this to Councilmember Lowe, she can open it up and show the people at home what it is. Obviously, this is more recognition of a job very well done.
Oh, thank you. I love presents, and it's not even Christmas.
Oh, that's a mess.
It's a Santa beard. Yes, it is.
Yes, Santa Bear.
I hope we can get somewhat of a close-up on that
we get
so
a
that
close-up
people
on
can
that?
see it.
I have to put it next to my face here.
There we go. Yeah. So it's a custom bobblehead for former Mayor Ruth Lowe. And of course, it has the year that she served as mayor, this current year. But in addition to being a likeness, sort of, it shows her as being Superwoman. So she's tearing off her suit, and her Superwoman T-shirt is underneath, and I think that really represents the year that she had and all that she accomplished. So much was said, much more could be said, but I do think the bobblehead says a lot, and please enjoy it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It will be very much enjoyed and, of course, cherished. Thank you. Thank you. Next, we have Mr. Kyle Miller. Welcome, Mr. Miller.
Good evening, Council. It's my pleasure to be here on behalf of Senator Bob Archuleta. My name's Kyle Miller. And I'm just here to say hello publicly and officially. I know that, as you know, Bob Archuleta, Senator Archuleta, is your new senator for the new 30th Senate District, which includes Diamond Bar. And unfortunately, I was not able to be here for the reorganization. I was a little under the weather. I apologize. But I just wanted to thank former Mayor Lowe for her great job in the last year. The senator and I have gotten to know you over the last year, and we're looking forward very much to working with you, as well as the other council members. I already know Andrew Chow previously. I know Stan. I look forward to getting the senator and I look forward to getting to know our new council member. And of course, I've known Steve since I served on the La Habra Heights Council many years ago, and he's still here. Look at him. He's still doing his job. But, and then I trust you got our certs. Like I said, I couldn't make it, and wanted to thank you for your service, former Councilmember Lyons. And just say that on behalf of the senator, we're very pleased with the collaboration we've already been able to have. We've been very impressed with the professionalism of your staff and getting us everything we needed to hit the ground running with projects and such. As you know, the senator is a former council member and mayor, so we all know resources are important, you know, we're going to pass some, I'm sure we're going to pass some good legislation, but the senator's becoming known for bringing resources back into the district, which I'm sure you're glad to hear about. So there's a couple of park projects that we'll be working on, and we're just really excited about working with City Manager Dan Fox and his team and the council and providing all the help that we can in this next 4 years. And so congratulations again to you, Councilmember Lowe, on your year of service, and to you, former member Lyons, and we just look forward to working together. So thank you.
Kyle, I just want to say publicly how grateful Walnut Valley Rotary Club is for Senator Archuleta reacting very quickly. In fact, we had to meet somewhere in the middle to get 45 dozen eggs, and he had already provided 120 dozen eggs for those in need on Saturday at our holiday baskets for those in need at Roland Unified. So he not only walks the walk, but he talks the talk, and it's again, 165 families that were benefited because of his generosity. So please make sure he knows that.
I will definitely convey that to him, Councilmember Tai, and it was our pleasure to do that. And I've actually personally never purchased that many eggs at one time, so I can check that box that
I like
I've done
to tell
that.
people we were scrambling for eggs. So.
I'll see if I can think of an egg pun, but it was over and easy. No, I'm just kidding.
Thank you so much, and all of us, especially me, we look forward to working with you and the senator in the coming years, and very excited about the projects that we're going to do, and good things are going to happen. So I'm very excited. Thank you for dropping by and checking in and saying hello.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Next, we have Cynthia Yu. Welcome, Ms. Yu.
Okay. Good evening, members of City Council, city staff, and members of the audience. I'm Cynthia Yu from Diamond Bar Library. LA County Library is calling readers of all ages. Please join our online winter reading club and be challenged to read 400 minutes this winter from now to January 15th. We encourage everyone to log their reading time and help us complete our shared reading goal of 1 million minutes during this month-long program. During the springtime earlier this year, LA County residents read more than 1.4 million minutes, and we think our community members will be up for this fun challenge. Youth of all ages will get a prize of 3 books for completing the challenge. Adults will be entered to win weekly prizes and our grand prize drawing for Kindle Fire. You may join the club at lacountylibrary.org and cozy up to your favorite books this winter. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Santana, do we have any public comments from your end?
There were no emails submitted for public comment tonight. We do have some callers on the line, so if anyone would like to address the City Council, please select the raised hand icon in your GoToWebinar program. I will unmute callers on the line one at a time, and we do not have any hands raised.
Okay, thank you. Last call, anyone in the audience for public comments? All right, seeing none, I will close the public comment period for this evening. Our next item is item number 4, schedule of future events. Let me turn that over to you, Mr. Fox.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. The schedule of events for the next couple of weeks, we are obviously in the thick of the holiday season. City offices will be closed Friday, December 23rd, and Monday, December 26th, in observance of the Christmas holidays. The Planning Commission meeting next week, scheduled for the December 27th, has been canceled. City offices will be closed on Monday, January 2nd, in observance of the New Year's holiday. And the City Council meeting scheduled for January 3rd has been canceled. Our next regular City Council meeting will be held on Tuesday, January 17th at 6:30 p.m. here at the AQMD Auditorium.
Let me have you just go on over to the consent calendar then, please, Mr. Fox.
On the consent calendar this evening, we have approval of the minutes from the December 6th meeting, ratification of the check register dated November 30th through December 13th, approval of the treasurer's statement for November, approval of the Fourth Amendment to the agreement with MV Chang and Associates for temporary accounting services through June 30th, 2023, adoption of Resolution 2022-61, providing for the continued use of teleconferencing options pursuant to AB 361, adoption of a proclamation declaring December 20th as Arbor Day in Diamond Bar, approval of a purchase order with the U.S. Postal Service for city bulk rate mailings, ratification of the mayor's annual appointments to various local and regional boards, commissions, and committees, including the adoption of Resolution 2022-63, confirming appointments to the San Gabriel Valley Council of Governments, and adoption of Resolution 2022-62, granting easements to the Southern California Edison at Heritage Park to accommodate the utility undergrounding project and making the environmental determination that this action is categorically exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act. And that concludes the consent calendar for this evening.
Great, thank you. Would anyone like to pull any items for discussion, or would there be a motion with respect to the consent calendar?
I'll move approval.
Thank you. We have a motion by Councilmember Tai. Do you have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you. We have a second by Councilmember Tang. Ms. Santana, would you help us with the roll, please?
Yes. Councilmember Lowe?
Yes.
Councilmember Tang?
Yes.
Councilmember Tai?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Liu?
Yes.
Mayor Chow?
Yes.
Excellent, thank you. Motion passes 5-0. Brings us to item number 6, public hearings. There are none this evening. Item number 7, council consideration. There are none this evening. Now we come to item number 8, council subcommittee reports and meeting attendance. I'm going to start with our mayor, Mayor Chow. You go first.
Oh, thank you, Councilmember Lowe. Thank you again for chairing today's meeting. I apologize again for not being able to attend in person, but I did watch all of you online and I saw the bobblehead. So congratulations on a well-deserved honor. Thanks again to staff for the presentation, an update on strategic plan. It's great to hear the progress that we're making as a team. And I look forward to the holiday season with my family and hope all of you have a great Christmas and anything else that you might celebrate. So with that, I'll say good night. Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Liu, how about you?
Thank you, Councilmember Lowe. I'd like to thank staff as well for the presentation today, and I'd like to thank staff and our colleagues for a wonderful year. And most recently was the Snowfest and Craft Fest. That was just amazing to see, bringing the community together and our families. And speaking of community, I'd like to thank the community for being so giving and then caring for each other. So your kindness is very, very inspiring and heartwarming. Thank you. And I'd like to wish everyone happiness and good health this holiday season. With that, I'd like to say good night. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Tai?
Thank you. You know, it was just 10 days ago that 100 tons of ice was dumped at Pantera Park, and it masqueraded as snow. Great time by all. I can think back to many things that the city does and have some wonderful memories. I just want to share 2 of them. Number 1 was Ryan Wright helping vendors get set up. Oftentimes you see somebody in a position of leadership, and they go, yeah, go ahead, you go over there. And there's Ryan running around on a golf cart, helping people get their goods from their car to the craft tent, and he drafted some help too. And I said, wow, yeah, the help looks kind of young. I don't think that kid's even in middle school. That's because it was his son. He woke his son up early to be with him, and he put him to work right away. I'll tell you what, Diamond Bar certainly gets our money's worth from our staff and their families. But the best memory is of Andy Williams. She's bustling around, making sure things get done. It's almost like her hair's on fire. She's moving so quickly. And suddenly I hear her say, and I'm not real close to her, I hear her say, "What's that? No, 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 And as I watched her turn, she's looking and witnessing a car headed the wrong way, searching for the route to the craft tent and headed for the building. What would be the backside of the building at Pantera was just, I love that thought. I've that in my mind now of her. So great time had by all. I love the fact that it gets done quickly and it gets cleaned up quickly, and the park is back to normal now. And I just love what Pastor Hopper had to say about so many faith communities in Diamond Bar. We are fortunate to be blessed with so many. And so tonight I would wish Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa to those who celebrate Kwanzaa, and a very, very Merry Christmas and a safe and Happy New Year to one and all. And with that, I'll say good night and God bless you.
Thank you. Councilmember Tang?
I attend the Snow Festival too, and I was very impressed with all the preparations, with the tons of the ice, snow, very impressive. Second thing is I was able to attend the donation of the toys and gift to the 29 Palms Marine bases last week. And we and organizations from Diamond Bar, including Women's Club and the Diamond Bar Country Estate, donated many gifts that the military family need. That was a great event, and I wish that next year we have more people, more donation going to that event. The military family needs us, and we appreciate their presence there. Thank you.
All right, thank you. First of all, I just want to send congratulations again to Senator Archuleta for his election to become our senator. So if you can, please pass on my congratulations again. Also, congratulations to our Congresswoman, Congresswoman Sanchez, as well as our Assemblywoman Calderon. So congratulations. I'm just very excited to work with our team of local, state, and federal leaders in the years to come. Also joining us, first time, I'm not sure if we're official, but I want to welcome our city attorney, Omar Sandoval. You're kind of new, but not really. We've seen you over this year, quite a few times when we did our redistricting, and we're just really thrilled and welcome you to be our regular city attorney starting tonight. And so we look forward to working with you and for your counsel and of course your wicked sense of humor. So that would be great. Thank you, staff, for the fantastic strategic plan presentations. I just am always very proud of the fact that our strategic plan directs us to manage our city properly, but with an eye to serving our community. And 30%, 60% of that plan is in service to our public after we make sure that our city is run properly. So I thank you, staff, for your dedication and your talent and your commitment to doing that and your spirit of service. So thank you for that, and look forward to the plans that we will put together for the next 3 years. Regarding the toy drive for the 29 Palms, I believe all of us were there. I believe former Mayor Nancy Lyons was there. I was there. Councilmember Tai was there, and that was a really great event. And for those of you who are watching, this is an event that was the particular event that we went to on Sunday was headed by Lee Mao, one of the neighbors at the Country Estates, and his effort and his outreach to many neighbors in the country and as well as in Diamond Bar yield in excess of 1,000 gifts. I know that Mr. Mao personally gave a lot of gifts that were eventually together with the Women's Club, delivered to the military bases, 29 Palms, as well as Camp Pendleton. When I last chat with the leader of the Women's Club, they were able to give gifts to 100 families. So that was a terrific milestone, and it made a lot of people happy. So thank you to everyone who participated and for the just the coming together of the community that made that happen. This evening, before coming to tonight's meeting, together with some friends, I attended a celebration of life for one of our community members. Her name is Beth Grafoni. Mrs. Grafoni, although she didn't live in Diamond Bar, she served the community as if she was a resident. For over 20 years, she participated in the Diamond Bar Friends of the Library, the Women's Club. She and her husband worked tirelessly with the Inland Valley Spelling Bee that that reached kids from schools all over the Inland Valley. And they did rounds and rounds of competition that were just very exciting, very thrilling, and very competitive, very exciting. And eventually, they would come out with a champion who went to Washington, D.C. and participated in the Scripps National Spelling Bee. So that was a really wonderful effort. She's remembered for her sense of humor, for her sense of giving, her artistic styling, and just being a wonderful and generous person. So our sympathies to her sons, John and Michael, and just in remembrance of the service that Mrs. Grafoni gave to our community. So thank you. And I also want to extend my wishes for a wonderful holiday season, whether you're celebrating Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, or just however way you celebrate that. I hope that that you enjoy the season, that your family be filled with warm wishes, that there be peace and joy, and of course hope in sustaining us in the coming years. With that, I'll say good night. See you in the new year. Bye-bye.